Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome. This is Adrian Stewart, Louisiana Swamp Rat. I've got Jose Fabrega with me here, coming straight from Panama. I reached out to him because he did a great thread on METIS and he was seeing everything about it and took a deep dive and blessed the world with a great thread. There's so much information, but I reached out and I said, "Hey, let's do a call. Let's do a talk about METIS." And so, welcome to the channel. It's very nice to have you. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the fun times?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Well, my name is Jose. I'm from Panama, and thank you, Adrian, for inviting me. Yeah, Adrian is another big, big meaties personality in Twitter. If you don't follow him, you should. And well, what can I say about meaties? Like, I started seeing meaties because once I read the docs, once I went in the website, read the docs, it was mind blowing. It was like going into another world. So I don't know. The rest is history. What about you? Like, how did you find out about meeties? You haven't told me about that.
Yeah, so I found Métis from a group that I was part of, and it was mentioned back in August, I think, August or September, and it was $15 when he mentioned it, and then it was 26 pretty much right after. So, but the first day I started talking about Métis on my channel, the Métis Twitter account was messaging me and talking to me, and like they were just right on it, like right from the start. Just one mention, and they're just directly um, relating with me and everything. I'm just like, oh, these guys are different. And then so I started researching more and more, and it looked like the very best project around. And then I had some other plans and some other directions, so I sold all my Métis and I went and did some other stuff because I wanted to get more money to come back to Métis. And some of that worked out well, some not so great. But long story short, my buddy Steve Body of ACUS Capital, he kept going down the Métis rabbit hole. And then him and I did a video a few months ago. And I don't know if you've seen it, but that was kind of like the summary of Métis. I think it was the best summary up to that point. And so that's what I kind of wanted to do here again. Was there's been lots of developments over the last few months, lots of changes, updates, market conditions, that kind of stuff. But really, it was my buddy Steve took the torch and ran with it, and then I came back, and everything about it, about Métis, is just I just think it's the absolute best project in crypto, and I wanted to share that information here again, and I wanted this to be a video that could be widely distributed and shared as the logical, practical, business minded, tech minded, um, down to earth guide on why Métis has the potential to really make huge strides in the market. So that's my story on it.
That's great. Hey,
So
shout out to Steve.
what I
Sounds
want,
like a great guy.
yeah. So Steve and I, we're actually introducing a project together. Him and I and several people. We're working on a project right now that we're going to be building on and with Métis. So we're going to be official partners and be fully doxed. And like I said at the start, my name's Adrian Stewart. I'm from Baton Rouge. I'm going to tell you everything about me, everything I've done, what I'm doing. Um, and just be totally wide open and honest and put ourselves out there. So I'm gonna share the screen here, and we are going to gotta set some uh, preferences on my computer to allow it. So I'll be able to record contents. Oh boy, that's not good. It says it's not going to let me share. Oh, maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it. Let's see.
Okay, now I see it. What now? I got you on mute. I cannot hear you.
Okay, now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, now?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's not going to let me share the screen. All right.
No, I
So
can
are
see
we,
it. I
are
can
we
see it.
looking at,
I can see your screen.
all right. Sorry, I've got bad internet, so we have a little delay. So
You're good.
I'm going to list on this video also some threads by Plebonacci and Billy Bob Bagholder, which really lay out in great detail more of the details about everything with it. But I'm just going to go straight to their site and talk about what they're doing and just lay it out straight, which is METIS is the short summary is that they are an Ethereum optimistic rollout that has the capabilities to very soon, starting April 1st, transactions and swaps are going to cost pennies and they're going to happen in a second or so. So when that comes on, the cost for using the METIS network is going to go way down. And what does that mean? It means if you're on Ethereum, if you're on Avalanche, any kind of EVM can come right over to METIS real easily. And that's going to play a big, huge role in NFTs. So there's an NFT bridge coming. I saw reports of the end of this month, but I can't really confirm that for sure. But when NFTs, like every time I deal with NFTs, costs me $100. Buy an NFT, sell an NFT, anything costs $100. That's going to go down to pennies. You don't. What do you think is going to happen to the NFT market when you can just pop over to METIS and save 1,000x on your transactions? So the big thing that really separates METIS is the DAX. So I know I'm skipping around a little bit, but here are all of the S's to the sixth power that make METIS work: simplicity, speed, storage, scalability, security, and savings. This is really the meat of the matter here. Transaction costs on Ethereum, 100 could be a few $100 on METIS. Now they're $1 or $2. They're going to go to pennies. Transaction speed, slow as molasses on METIS. You can do swaps and they happen in under a second. Functionality is pretty rich. Usability, it's easy. Storage, they're going to have an IPFS similar technology to it. It's going to allow for that storage layer to make the fees go way down, and you have built-in storage. There's multiple layers of security. It's easy to start a DAO or a DAC. So that is the summary, just really basic about why and what they're doing differently. I do have a few DACs myself, so that is something that anybody can build, and it's also going to be something that is going to be increasing as far as their capabilities, and METIS will be coming out with that. So payroll, taxes, everything you can do that you need to do to run a business can be done here. So that is a really big thing. And we're going to take a little journey real quick to see some of the partners that are already partnered with METIS, and the list is growing. And we have people like Ave that are coming, and there will
That's a
be
good one.
more. So yeah, Ave is a big deal, and then they have this $100 million Genesi DAC program. So I didn't have it. I didn't understand it. I thought it was actually Métis had this $100 million they were going to have people use to build on, but it's actually venture capital fund. Before Métis was even worth $100 million, they put $100 million in a fund, and Natalia Ameline is running that Genesi deck. And what they do is people, if you have a project, get in touch with Métis, and then she has a meeting with you to see, like, well, let's get you a pitch deck, and then send it off to see if we can get some investment for you. So that is a really cool uh, option that they have. And this is going to be how you can create the DAX here. So you just go to portal.metis, create your own DAC. In a few seconds, you can set it up. And my I've been closely following all the workings and inner workings of Métis, and Telegram and some groups and stuff. And the development and the speed that they work is just crazy fast, So I don't have anything but praise for them, and um, I'm really excited to see what else they're going to be bringing. So that's kind of my spiel on Métis. But the biggest thing about them, and I'm going to let you go after this, Jose. I'm pretty much done. The biggest thing that I wanted to stress was the decentralized nature of Métis. And that's really the differentiator that separates them from all other projects, all other L2s, anybody doing anything. And that's really why I'm so bullish and so excited about them, because they're building the platform for Web3, and they're perfectly positioned. So we've got NetSwap, which is the original DEX that came out there, Standard Protocol, Relay, Dia, Tethys, Agora, and Drachma. So we've got all these really good projects coming, and the future is just looking good. And there's a Forex one called Handle that I'm really excited about. So that's what I got to say. And I am going to stop sharing. And Jose, I'm happy for you to go for it, man. Take over.
That was phenomenal. I
Can't
bet
see.
most people watching. What do you say?
I can't see you. I've lost your screen. It's your black screen.
Let me see. Can you see me now?
No, you're in the dark.
Hmm. Hmm. It should be seeing me. See. Let me try this one more time. Okay, let me share my
We'll
screen
get
real quick.
there.
If you cannot see me, let me at least share my screen and show them a little bit of the
Okay, go.
sauce.
Ah,
You enable
do I
the
need to?
share screen button.
Yeah, settings. Where's the settings? It's in, where is it? In more. Stop. You. How about now? Can you do it now? Did that do it?
Yes, sir. Give me one
Sorry for
sec.
the.
For sure, for sure. Give me 1 second. Okay. So first, I want to start
I
with
still. Okay, yeah.
Tethys. Can you see me now, or you can only see my screen?
We're good. We're good. Keep going.
Okay, but can you see me? Like if I make
Yeah,
an
yeah,
example,
yeah, yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
So
I can see everything.
first of all, phenomenal. Like the description earlier, I bet most people watching this didn't know how to create their own deck. Now they know. And like you said, like Metis is just another thing. It's just another world. One of my favorite things about it is the amount of support it's getting through different networks. The projects from everywhere are trying to bridge to the Metis network, to Andromeda network, and I try to collaborate with them. Besides all these collaborations, like it's not just because it's a trendy project, it's because the amount of potential that it has and the projects that are being developed in it. Tethys is one of my favorite examples. Like it's one of my favorite dexes inside of Metis. Uh, well, if we go here, we can find the story, the main functions of it: hold, incentivize liquidity, stake, governance. In the platform, of course, there's staking opportunities that are pretty safe, like changing your Tethys for X Tethys, and you can just stake it and make a secure 13% APY free of risk. On the other hand, if you want a little bit more sauce, a little bit more risk, if you want to say it like that, you also have the farms. In the farms, you can find amazing APYs. And it's not just the fact that they're already pretty good, but the longer that you leave them there, the higher it goes, the higher the rewards or the multiplier goes until 30%, which is pretty good for a farm. Remember that farms, or
Right.
the risky part of all these farms are the fact that you have to take in consideration the impermanent loss. That's basically the risk of very high or very volatile variations in the price. So in these cases, if you have an APY that is big enough to cover or to discount this risk, that's the farm for you. Because I mean, if you're gonna be looking in a place that has a little bit of high risk, you might as well choose the ones that have the highest reward. There's a pretty interesting window in Tethys that is the lend window. Whenever you lend, you can lend or borrow. I think it's over here. Let me see. Yes. Whenever you lend, you can lend like to a lending pools, and you're also lending. You can lend the LP tokens. In this case, Metis Tethys. If we go to the application, let me see really quick. It's this window right here. Lend. As you can see, crazy APYs. And it's not just the fact that you can generate all this, but if we go to stars, for example, ah, I don't have my wallet connected. Give me 1 second. We Gucci. Okay. So as you can see, if we click on leverage over here, as of right now, I don't have any liquidation price in there. This is a new pool that I just started trying a little bit earlier. But as you can see, my liquidation prices are infinite. No liquidation price on the downside, no liquidation price on the upside. If we go to leverage, this APY that we saw out here, 930%, we can take a little bit of leverage, add a little bit of risk on top of this, and get, instead of that 900% APY, we can end up getting a almost 3,000% APY while our liquidation prices are still really, really far ahead and below. So you wouldn't just need a very strong movement in the price, but you will need a total detachment of stars from the METIS price, pretty much. If you have, of course,
Right.
this implies a little bit more risk, but once you, if you take care or if you set a limit that you feel comfortable with, amazing. Or are you gonna say, Adrian? I think I interrupted you.
No, no, I was just I I personally, Tethys has really cool stuff. I I personally um I don't do any LP farming with Métis because it looks good and the APYs, APRs can be really high, but anything that leads to me having less Métis is I'm not doing it. So I'm actually just sitting on all my Métis. Um, I was gonna put some on Tethys. I thought I had some on Agora, but I did something stupid and it wasn't on there. Um, but yeah, the if you want to engage in farming, it can be very lucrative, but keep in mind you may end up with less métis. But yeah, that's I actually hadn't gone into the lending that deep and the leveraging and all that. It's look, it's more than I want running around in my head. I'm trying to keep things real simple. It's like I've got métis. As far as I'm concerned, that's all you really need. But I do welcome and encourage your tutorial there is great. Thank you.
On the other hand, I think it's also important, like, just kind of like give a little clarification at the beginning. Most people that are already experienced in the crypto world, they understood perfectly what you meant with optimistic rollups, being like a layer two of Ethereum. I just wanted to add for those who didn't quite get the grasp on that concept. Whenever Adrian was saying that it was a layer two or an optimistic rollup, what a layer two is just a layer or a complementary layer on top of the main one. And what is it meant to do? It's meant to help on the scalability issues on the first layer, among other stuff, but mainly scalability. And Metis in this case is perfect for this because it pretty much kind of like it's very scaled. And now, like Adrian said, with the decentralized storage feature that they're gonna implement, it's gonna be faster, cheaper, and everyone's gonna be able to help improve the network. It's gonna be something from another world, pretty much. And the optimistic rollup part of that, like we mentioned in Twitter also, it's pretty much just all the transaction computations instead of taking place on the main net, they take place on the second layer so that it's not as costly and it's cheaper. Well, not as costly and it's faster also. So it helps a lot with the scalability topic on the network and it helps to process the transactions a lot faster. So as of now, Metis is still a relatively new project, but I mean, the possibilities are unlimited.
Thank you for that. And it also it's also important to consider that Ethereum is coming out with their proof of stake pretty soon, and it's going to be probably this summer. But I've seen rumblings that the speed's going to be faster, but that the transaction costs may not decrease at all. So, but it's really important to remember that Metis and Ethereum, they are not competitors. They are cousins. They're together. They're intertwined. But everything that Ethereum does when they raise the level, Metis is exponential that. So as Ethereum gets better and faster, METIS also improves. And um, there's something else in there I wanted to say, but um, with METIS, that they will be fully decentralized. They're going to be better than most of the top 10 chains on April 1st. But right now, today, I I see them positioned as a top 10 project. When you compare, like, look at Luna, Solana, um, Ada, um, Dot, all that kind of stuff. Métis, they've got it covered with speed, transactions, NFT bridge. Anybody can come use them. Anybody can build on them, and there's nobody that can touch them. I'm just, in my humble opinion, they are from another world. They're from the heavenly planets. You know, we got sent this project, and the capabilities are, are just unending. There's unlimited, and they're scalable, and a major play. We're not going to talk about any price targets or anything, because that's out of our hands. Métis is just working their tails off to be incredible, and the global macro stuff, that's just going to shake out. But look, Métis isn't going anywhere, and there is the potential for them to really take a huge market share. And that's actually what I'm expecting. I'm planning on it. That's my personal opinion. Um, but all I see is upside. What downside risk is there? It's like they're they're so much better than other competitors. I'm not going to mention other names in the similar category, but from my research and my understanding, there's no project that can compete. And this is the real Ethereum 3.0, not 2.0. This is Ethereum 3.0 today. 3.0, not ETH 2.0. It's so much better than ETH could ever dream of. And I did want to say too that I really love this project. I love it because two ladies, um, Elena and Natalia, they got together after doing Crypto Chicks, and they wanted to build the best project in all of crypto. And I'm here to tell you, I think they've done it. And I love it when ladies come through, and uh, women operate differently than men. I don't know if anybody knows that, but these ladies, they're they're badasses. They're super. They take on the competition. They want to destroy the competition. But they want to build something for the people, and that's the biggest thing. Is that I've always said Métis is like it's the people's token. They want to have the people run it. They want to have the people own it. They want to have the people control it. And this is an not anti-government, but an anti-centralization project. And I just love how the ladies are doing it. Um, they're just they're warriors in the space, and just like you, just like you, they're a real force to be reckoned with here, and the community is informed, and that's what I love. It's not a pump and dump. It's not a low level project. You've got to put some work into this. You've got to think about it. You got to take your time, and you've got to change the way your mind operates, because this is some far out stuff, and it's here now. And on April Fool's Day, which is my daughter's birthday, We're going to have what I say is the best network around, and TVL is going to be increasing by then. And I think we're going to be the best L2 really soon. And I also think that people are not ready for the exponential adoption rates of Métis. And so
Let me make
that's where
a
I'm at with
small
it.
let me make a small interruption in there, Adrian. Like I totally agree with Ethereum 3.0, and especially with what you just said about the amount of TVL that it's gonna collect in the next few months, especially since Maya DAO is about to launch Hermes protocol, which is pretty much a some type of solidly from Andre Kronet, but instead of
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Phantom, we're gonna see it in Metis. And we saw the effect that that had on on the Phantom network. TVL went through the roof, and a bunch of that TVL once it went in the network and people started trying the network, experimenting, like transacting in the network, they saw the value in the network. And what do you think is going to happen once people start transacting in Metis? It's going to be like immediate. People are going to be like, wow. Because I'm also a Phantom fan, and Phantom is fast, but Metis is faster. Metis is very fast.
yeah.
And I'm excited, to be honest. I'm very, very excited, especially because of the speed at which they are launching and all their products. Like they're really working nonstop on launching one after another after another. If you look at their Twitter feed, it's partnership, project. Like they're releasing another project. Like always, also meeting deadlines. Like you said, I also love the project. I love what they're doing. I love that they're different from a lot of other projects in the sense that they're actually doing what they say they will do. And they don't do part of it, they don't do kind of like some type of like similar thing. They do what they said they were going to do, and they do it right. They do it well. That's something that not all the projects can kind of brag about. See what I mean? Like I'm definitely on the same boat as you. I love what they're doing, and I would love to see the road or the path that it will take in the next few months.
Right. Yeah. The what I'm excited about, and I'm glad that this thing. I didn't make any notes. I'm just spitballing out of my crazy head. But um, the with Ethereum, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, here it is. Because Metis is built on the Ethereum network, it has the security of it, but there's lots of other. You talk about bridges, Relay Bridge, they're delivering great. But here's the big thing, and my buddy Billy Bob Bagholder, multi-chain maximalist, um, talks about this. But there's like Cosmos to Ethereum and Ethereum to Cosmos. I know Sif Chain's doing it, Gravity Bridge. What I'm trying to spit out, which I'm not doing very well, is that Metis can be the hub for all chains. So Ethereum, Avalanche, Phantom, um, Arbitrum, anything that uses Ethereum as their level, everybody can come to Metis, and that can be the meeting place for ADA, freaking Dot. Every single chain can come to the Metis network. And when you have swaps and transactions that happen immediately, like I've done swaps on NetSwap, and by the time I press the button with my little finger, and by the time I get my eyes up to check my MetaMask, it's, it's already there. It's like it's insane. It's like it's unbelievable. So when everybody can come to the Metis network, it's not a competition or a god complex like, oh, we're the best, we're so great. It's just that Metis wants to be the meeting place for all of these chains to come together. it's not a superiority trip. It's a let's all get together, let's all operate cohesively as a team. And Métis is going to be that underlying layer where everybody meets, but all chains can communicate there. And that's what I'm excited about. So everybody can come to Métis, and as you're seeing, like they said, every day there's a partnership. Every single day there's just like, oh my God, news. There's no lack of developments, and they're pushing on. And Kevin, and Yuan, who founded it too, who are the founders of Métis, they are super brains, mega brains, and they all got together to build the very best product they could. And what I love about Métis is there's talk about ZK rollups. So if you look at the threads that I'm going to post, you'll see why Métis is better, has more options than ZK rollups, Boba, Arbitrum, all those. You'll see, and I'll document why Métis is a better option. So yeah, the future is bright, and it's going to be expanding. And the TVL of Métis this year, it's going to go mental. I'm not putting any numbers on it because I'm trying to control myself and not be a crazy guy today and just be straight practical. But in my opinion, I see the total value locked on the Métis platform going to exponential heights, and it's going to be fully decentralized in a few months later this year. And who can touch that? They're like, really? What? Nobody can touch it. It's untouchable. So that's what I got.
Exponentially high sounds right on the dot, sounds right on target. I would say no numbers, exponentially high. Because what you said, if that actually happened, if Metis became the hub, like the transaction hub or the bridging hub for other networks, once going back to Hermes, once Hermes launches, since they're going to be incentivizing the pools with the highest fees or with the highest use, they're going to be giving pretty much like an optimal use to all these TVL, to all of these funds. So instead of the problem that a lot of other blockchains or a lot of other projects have, especially DEXs or other pools, are that the pools that are being incentivized are not the main or are not the main ones or are not the ones that are used the most for swaps. And of
Right.
this pool is going to attract a lot of capital since it's being incentivized. But at the end of the day, the swaps that are taking place the most are still going to be inefficient. They're not going to be efficient, and they're going to have slippage, like a big slippage. It's not going to be ideal. But what Hermes is doing, they're going to reward or incentivize the pools that are being used the most. So the swaps that are needed the most or that are being executed the most, those same pools are the ones that are going to be the most incentivized, and therefore the ones that are going to end up having the most capital. They're literally doing like the or trying to maximize efficiency of all the funds that they're going to have locked in. And if what you said actually happens, they're going to be maximizing efficiency for so much funds. So future looks bright for Metis, I must say.
That's for sure. Yeah, thank you for adding that. Yeah, I wanted to add that the dApps, all the applications that people are building on the Metis network, that they weren't those were it wasn't an option for people to be doing, and for me to be doing what I'm doing with my project, and what so many other people are doing on the Metis network. It was not available. It was not an option months ago. So we have already entered, and this is what people fail to realize, is that we have already entered the Métis phase of crypto, but people just don't know about it yet. But we're there because it's here now. We had almost a $500 million in TVL real soon. It's about 400 million now. Um, but that's and in addition to all these applications that are building on the METIS network, METIS, they never stop delivering. They're always over delivering. And why I say this is that they are giving back to the community and the people, the dApps, 30% of all the METIS that is used. So say in my application, my project, there's $1 million worth of METIS that is transacted, user fees, moving around. I would get $300,000 worth of METIS. It's all paid back in METIS because METIS is what it is, but just US dollar. I shouldn't use US dollars. 30% of the amount of METIS that's generated in fees and usage, you get back. So, like, what if Ethereum said, we're going to give you back 30% of all the Ethereum fees? If you're building on us and using us, we're going to give you 30% back. That's what METIS is doing today, right now, today. So it's just like, show me something else incredible that we can do for the people to give back, and we're doing it. So that's METIS, and yeah, I think it's the best project in crypto, hands down. No comparison. Belongs in the top few projects in all of crypto. That's my humble opinion. So I hope that you do your research into what we're talking about, and you will come to the same conclusion as we have, I hope. And yeah, that's what I got. You got anything else to add? There's nothing else I could say. Jose, do you have anything else you'd like to say to wrap us up together, man?
Oh, I'm pretty much done. Like everything, all the big points, I think have been covered. So nothing else to say.
All right. Well, hey, I love your work, and thanks for coming on. And had a few little technical problems myself, so apologize to you and the audience. But check it out. And do you want to shout out your YouTube channel and your Twitter handle too?
No, we got the Twitter handle, Jose Fabrega B. I'm a, I'm a share in Twitter, and y'all just look
Okay.
for Kryptonite.
Kryptonite. Yeah, I'll put your links on here. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, and I actually learned more. That's why I love doing this, because I think about new things. New things always come out, and I realize more things. And thank you for your education on Tethys and the pools and farming. And I'll see you next time.
For sure. Thank you. I'll see you, Adrian.
Thanks, Jose. All right, buddy.